Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. As the holidays get closer and closer, my time gets stretched quite thin. I have a lot of tanks that need to be prepped. I have offices that are going to shut down for the week, and that is actually a good thing because it's pretty much my 1 week every year I'm guaranteed that I can have off. But the downside is it's very difficult to find time for anything else. But I made a New Year's resolution at the beginning of the year to put out one video every week at least. And we're in the home stretch now, and I don't really want to mess it up. So I decided to repurpose for the third time this chamber. If you remember from a few weeks or a month or so ago, I tried making a little pool filter for aquariums to clean the bottoms. Well, that didn't work out too well. And before that, it was going to be a biopellet reactor, and then it worked fine for that, but I didn't really care for how biopellets worked. So this is like the third kick at the can for this. But because I just jury-rigged it to fit on for the pool filter, I need to readjust this so that the pipes will all fit evenly, and I can put a pump on this. So I need, as you've seen, as I've been doing, as I've been prattling on here, cut the pipe off, reversed it so I can add on a coupler, and then what I'm going to do is simply adjust it so put a piece of pipe in there so they're now at the same level, and it will just sit on a nice and level in the tank, and it's not really important. It's just more of an aesthetic kind of thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this all apart and clean it all up. I'm not going to bother gluing anything together yet again, because I'm not sure I'm going to leave it for this. I have an idea to make a simpler version for a diatom filter, and I may use this yet again for that. So I'm just going to leave everything here as a friction fit, and then it may drip a little bit, but that's no big deal. I just wanted to see and show you guys how well this is going to work. So all along I've been showing you how I use silicone as a gasket. And that's the reason why right there. It's so easy to take off, and it does make a very nice tight seal. And I could actually take that and put it back on the acrylic and tighten it down the bolts, and it would still hold water. But I'm just going to use fresh silicone. So I'm going to take this old batten out, and I realized while I was making this, I've run out of polyester wool. So instead of putting new one in, I'm just going to clean that and reuse it, which is perfectly fine. And as a matter of fact, the only reason for using brand new polyester every time I do these things is just to show you the contrast from the bright white to whatever it's going to look like after it's filtered out all the gunk. So again, like I said, this is late Thursday night. So as I said, I wanted to get this done. Just so that, like I said, I can keep that New Year's resolution. I have to keep at least one in my lifetime, so I think this one's going to hopefully be it. Hopefully I haven't jinxed myself, and I got, 2 more to do now? We're at this is the 13th, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. So what I'm going to do here now is just going to roll this back up and put it back into the cylinder. Like I said, you can do this quite a few times. Polyester is quite resilient, and it will hold together quite well as long as you don't treat it too roughly. So I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put a fresh bead of silicone on the outside of this, squish it in there, get it all set up, and hook it on a tank. So while I'm doing that, I really want to thank everybody. I know I just did the 3K subs giveaway, and I thanked you guys then, but I don't think it can be expressed enough that I really do appreciate all the time that you guys spend watching my videos and seeing the stuff that I slap together like this. So anyway, I just want to say thank you again. And like I said, there's a few more projects I have coming up. If you remember from a while back, I had the UV sterilizer. I had a lot of comments on that video from people telling me that LED strips do not produce a short enough wavelength of UV for it to be a sterilizer, and I can't really argue with that. It's these are mostly black lights. They have a UVA and a bit of UVB, but they do inhibit. So I remember from that video, I used it for to control ick. Oh, here. I put the pipe on the wrong way. So this is another reason why you don't do late night videos. But anyway, the UVA and the UV sterilizer is, like I said, it's more like a UV inhibitor, and I wanted to test it out on an algal bloom. So I have manufactured one in one of my aquariums, and I'm going to test that out. So that's another video I have coming up, hopefully before the end of the year. So here you go. This is all hooked up and ready to go. I made a bushing. A few weeks back I did a viewer request showing how I make the bushings. It's just the same as that, and I put on these little pumps. I'm actually really getting to like these little things. I haven't had any issues with them, but then again, I haven't worked with it for longer than probably going on almost a year now, so still a little too early to tell or to recommend it. So this is the original system. These two tanks both have Severums in them. The only difference is the one on the right has plecos, and you can see how clean that is. I'm actually quite happy with the mulm and algae growing on the glass here, because it does give a bit of a shelter for the parents, hopefully parents, and as this pair hopefully will breed, they won't be as spooked by fish being on either side of them. So you can see the front glass is pretty clean. That's about the only thing I ever clean on any of my tanks. And if I were to move these fish out, I would just put some plecos in here. They would clean it all up. But this is going to be, well, this is my dirtiest tank, so I need to create some mulm here. So I'm going to just wipe a little bit of the material off the back and the sides, and it's going to create a bit of cloud in the water. And I'm going to use that with the water polisher and clean it all up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook that up on this for, not for very long, because like I said, I can't leave this on for a few days because, like I said, this is late on Thursday night, and I have to have this ready for Friday morning, and I have to have it up early enough because I have to go and clean more fish tanks. So, bit of a rush job. I really do apologize for that, but I think this is actually one of the few things that I've repurposed this particular chamber for that actually really works quite well, because it's not it's quite simple. Like I said, it's just a chamber for batten, and the water goes through it and it gets filtered out, and because it's under a bit of pressure, it will take things out a little faster than like any other sort of style of filter that you would use. So there you go, it's up and running now. I'm going to leave this running for, I think it was a little over an hour. Like I said, it was I needed to go to bed, so I wasn't gonna leave this run too long, but it did a pretty good job. So my apologies again for the quickness of this video. Hopefully you like this style of video. If you do, please like and or subscribe. And like I said, I want to be consistent. I wanted to get this New Year's resolution done, and well, at least we're getting that part done. So here you go. This is a little over an hour later. You can see it's pulled out a lot of material. There's been a lot of postings for water polishers, and they all work really quite well. There's no magic thing for this particular one. It just happened to be what I had laying around. But like I said, the water's clear. If I left it on for the rest of the night kind of thing, it would be exactly the same as the tank next door, because well, it should clear up quite fast. And these guys didn't seem to be too bothered by it. And they're a nice pair. They've actually laid eggs, I think, twice now. I've stopped really counting because they tend to eat them. So I'm kind of concerned that they're not going to be good parents, but we'll wait and see. Worst case scenario, I don't like doing it, but I may remove the eggs and try hatch them separately. So there you go, side-by-side comparison. You can still see a bit of cloud on the one on the left. But like I said, it's only been an hour. You can see a lot of the material that's come out of there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this apart. The silicone hasn't even dried yet because it's, like I said, it's only been together for a little over an hour. And what I'm going to do is just pull the batten out here so you can have a look at it and see what it's pulled out in the short amount of time that's been running on this. So anyway, thanks again for watching. I promise next week I'll have something a little bit more elaborate. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.